This week, the cats over at Perp Games jumped through some serious hoops in order to let me play an early build of PSVR2's upcoming game VR Skater. Now, growing up, I loved Skate or Die and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but VR Skater takes a different approach than those arcade games. This is a straight-up skateboard simulator. And you've really got to play VR Skater yourself to understand what I mean. The trick system is all done through holding buttons and making quick gestures with your Sense controllers. It's meant to mimic what you're doing with your feet on an actual skateboard, so luckily the game has plenty of tutorials to teach you everything you need to know. But it's one of those things that seems easy on paper, and then when you're speeding down the sidewalk at full speed, it's kind of a lot to remember. Lining up and then pulling off a kickflip that transitions into any kind of grind will put pretty much everyone through their paces on day one. It honestly feels like I'm learning a new language that I can't wait to be fluent in, but in the meantime I'm struggling to even put a full sentence together properly. It all does feel great though, even right from the beginning, and every time I ate shit I couldn't wait to get back up and try again. Even just bombing around the levels, I felt myself leaning into each turn like I would on a real skateboard. Now, I only had access to a few practice levels in this build, but what I've seen so far has been very promising. The trailers had me believing that I'd be limited to skating down a narrow path about the width of a sidewalk, and while each course does play out in this big, giant virtual corridor that moves you perpetually forward, it's much wider than you'd expect, and you have complete freedom to veer left or right in order to line up tricks and grinds. And better yet, there are tons of alternate routes with different obstacles to utilize if you veer far enough to one side or the other. I really wish I had more time with VR Skater. I've been dreaming about ways to utilize the environments better, to string together longer combos. Everything about VR Skater just feels badass and unapologetically hardcore. So keep this one on your wish list. It's slated for a digital release June 21st, with a physical version already available for pre-order on Amazon. Of course, coming from Perp Games.